Hi everyone, Frank Botdorf with EON Reality. I'm going to share today and go through EON AI Assistant. I've launched the EON XR platform and now I'm going to go into Metaverse Builder, which will then launch the AI Assistant. So now it's asking me to rotate my iPad and I'm in my kitchen. So now there's my AI Assistant.
Hi, what would you like to do? Create AI-generated show and tell our experiences in the virtual world. Explore AI guidance and assistance in real world. Library, categorization, pre-built content, marketplace, and profile settings.
All right, so now I'm going to want to do two things today. One is create content with the help of our AI assistant, and then I'm going to do a follow-up and do an explore with our AI assistant. But today, right now, I'll go ahead and select create to go ahead and get started creating some content. And again, this content is going to be on the fly.
Please choose from the following segments or use the microphone to provide a topic of your choice.
So now I'll decide whether I want to go through educational content or more content that's geared towards enterprise or maybe a business or a corporation. I'll go ahead and select education, and then I'm immediately presented with different categories of content. We have about 930 different categories, as you see here as I scroll through. Once we select on a particular category, we can then drill down further. So I've selected heavy equipment, and now I'll go ahead and select which particular heavy equipment. And I've been thinking about, or I just recently had to run an electric line out to another part of my yard and wanted to consider using a backhoe. So I'm going to select backhoe and then next. And so now what's going on?
You selected the topic backhoe operation from the education segment. Do you want to learn about the main components or a procedure of the chosen topic?
So now she's guiding me through this process, asking me, do I want to kind of get familiar with some of the main components, or do I want to drill down into specific procedures? Since I'm pretty new at this, I'm going to go ahead and select the first category, which is main components, so that I can get an understanding of what the backhoe is all about. And so now, as you see here, it says, please wait. It's going out and pulling and putting together some educational material for me on the fly. So this is not something that it's like going out and trying to find an existing lesson that has been created from an existing library. It's actually pulling information dynamically and going to present it to me in a minute here and be able to start to learn more about a backhoe. So now, as you see, it's presenting me with...
Backhoe operation is the use of a backhoe to dig, move, and transport soil and other materials.
So it's pulling together these knowledge portals, that's what we call these, and so it's presenting a picture of one, and now it's going to get into some of the
first backhoe was invented in 1947 by JCB founder Joseph Cyril Bamford, who combined a tractor and a hydraulic excavator to create a versatile digging machine.
And now it's going to pull back a video.
Here is a video related to backhoe operation. Please select the keywords you wish to use. You may choose more than one.
So I'm going to, before I move on, I'm going to take a look at this video, and it was just taking a second to load.
Hey everyone, this video is going to be basic, beginner level, how to operate a backhoe. Now this video is brought to you by Ariat. They reached out and they're sponsored.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the selections. And so now I'm going to be asked, what do I want the keywords that I want to use. And so I'm going to select both of these and hit next. And so now it's going to try to find a 3D model
to explore this subject further.
that would be
If there
appropriate.
is no suitable 3D model, you can choose a 2D image instead.
But now it's pulled back. It seems like it's found a lot more images than 3D models. So I'm going to go ahead and browse these and see what might make sense for my particular educational lesson that I'm creating. And since I was looking at digging a trench, running an electric line, I'm going to select this one here and hit next. And so now I'm going to bring that into my kitchen and place it on the floor. And here's my avatar, and now what it's done is...
Select which show and tell presentation you want to watch.
So it's pulled back specific categories, or I should say components, of a backhoe and provided in a list of 10 items here, as you see. And so now I can either go through it and kind of follow it along with the way she's wanting to present it. And as you see here, some of the items are actually behind her, so I have the option of kind of turning the components so I can see all of them. And if I wanted to pull up and look at one in particular, I can go ahead and do that. And again, looks like this is a video, so I'm going to see another video. And instead of seeing it in such a small area, I can actually maximize it to my my screen on my iPad here.
Now that you have a good understanding of how the backhoe functions, let's take a look at some of the techniques for efficient operation.
All right, so let's say we went ahead and went through that video.
Here are some of the main components: backhoe, heavy-duty machine, bucket.
So now she's going to walk me
Backhoe.
through each of the different
Controls.
components one by
Operate
one.
backhoe. Safety. Protected.
So I'll go ahead
What
and
would you
just for
like to do
time's
next?
sake, I'll
Do
skip
you want to
that.
try out some assessments, explore components in more detail, or see a list of suggested questions? Ask me anything anytime by tapping the microphone button.
So now I'll go
Here are
into
the
an
generated
assessment,
assessments for this subject.
and it's put together an assessment. And I'll go ahead and
Start
hit
quiz
the
challenge.
start button.
What type of fuel should be used in a backhoe?
And I believe that would be diesel. And now I have some other options. One is pick and ask mode, which I could actually pick specific components and have her talk me through them. Or I can have more of a conversational mode where we can just have go back and forth asking questions. But at this time, I'm ready to save this. And I'm going to, as you notice, there's a couple of options before I save this lesson. I can save it in a private location. I could save it to the general public library. Or I could even save it and offer it on the marketplace and charge money for that. So I'll hit save and exit. And so now here is the lesson that I've created. And I could do some tweaking and editing of this as I wanted. Now, if you look down there where it says composition, it tells you what all is involved with this particular lesson. There's 11 audios, videos, 9 images, 1 quiz. And this is even more interesting. This is the AI report, which would allow me as either the creator of this content, say as a teacher, or faculty member, or even a student wanting to go through. And as you see here, it's literally every detail that we went through with the AI assistant has now been printed in this report, so for reference material. And it's very comprehensive. All right. So now I'd like to move on to the next stage, which is to, again, launch Metaverse Builder, place my avatar guide, in my kitchen here. And last time we did create,
Hi.
but this time I want
What would you
to
like to do?
explore.
Create.
So I'll hit explore.
Welcome to the Explore mode. Now let's start by setting up a persistent anchor.
So now what a persistent anchor is, what that means is it's now tagging some location, in this case in my kitchen, but more realistically, let's say this is a lab, a science lab. So once anyone comes into my kitchen with this lesson that I've created, they'll be able to know exactly, it has basically a reference point so that it can walk me through different components within my kitchen, or maybe in a more realistic example, a science lab. So now it's asking me, do I want to save this? And I say yes. And now the way it provides context is I'll take a picture of it. And so now whenever it sees this location, now it'll figure out where it is in reference to my kitchen and be able to help me
Let's add a real-world
explore.
annotation. This will be one of the topics of this experience.
All right, so now I'm going to turn around and look at my oven and select my oven as the annotation point. And take a picture of it. And so now it's going out, searching for similar pictures and references. And as you see here, I've got quite a few. However, I think what happened was is that because I have a towel drying on the handle of the oven, it's kind of gotten a little confused there. So what I can do is if I don't see things that it's, so basically it's saying tap the words you don't want to, or that you want to remove or don't want to have in the next filter. So in this case, I'm actually just going to type in something that's, I know for a fact this is a GE oven. Don't know the model number exactly and all that, but at least I'll type that in and hit next. And so now it's going to go out and find a GE oven and then put together a lesson for me or an experience so that I can learn more about GE ovens. And of course, if I knew the model number, I could put GE oven blank, blank, blank. Or many times it will pick up that it's a GE oven in a particular model. Kind of depends on the
GE ovens are high-performance kitchen appliances that offer a variety of features to make cooking easier and more efficient.
All right, so this time it pulled a double stack oven.
The GE Advantium oven uses speed cook technology that can cook food up to 4 times faster than a conventional oven, making it perfect for busy households.
All right, and just like we did before, this time it's
Here is a video
creating
related to
these
GE
knowledge
oven.
portals, and it's brought again
When you are done
several
exploring
different
the knowledge portal,
overview
press continue.
as well as a video. And now for time's sake, I've skipped through that, and now it's identifying the
Here are some of the main components.
main components or
Self-cleaning.
elements.
Automatically cleans oven interior.
So now it's going to walk through each one of these components and help me understand what they're about.
Precise air
And
convection.
of course, if I wanted to drill down on one of them, I
Circulates
could
air
and
for cooking.
explore it in
Steam
more
clean.
detail.
Uses steam to clean oven. Wi-Fi Connect. Connects to home Wi-Fi. Chef Connect. Syncs with microwave. Try.
All right.
Would you like to add another annotation?
So now I'm going to go into dig a little deeper into the self-cleaning mode.
GE ovens feature a self-cleaning function that uses high heat to burn off food residue and grease. This feature eliminates the need for harsh chemicals and scrubbing, making oven cleaning easier and more convenient.
All right, sounds good to me. More convenient. So now it's asking would I like to add another annotation. So not only can I learn about the oven, but I can now maybe learn about my coffee maker. And I'll go ahead and take a picture just like we did before. And so now it's going to go search and find something that looks very similar. And in this case, it actually pulled back the exact model, which is usually what happens. And so now I can go through different components of this particular coffee maker. So now once again it's going to pull back information about this coffee maker and put together a lesson for me. There's my helpful AI assistant. And there we go. Now she's going to walk me through the different knowledge portals. So that wraps it up for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed this and have a better understanding. Thanks, guys.